Good evening, everybody. Y'all know what time it is. Tonight is Bible study. We will be breaking down the book of Jonah, everybody. Now, originally I wanted to do the book of Esther, but the Holy Spirit told me to do the book of Jonah. And if you know about this story, I didn't want to run away from my purpose. Inside joke if you know the story. Whatever the case is. So, guys, we'll be breaking down the book of Jonah. I try to do it every week. I'm doing this for my Daniel fast, which is of 20 days. It's only considered 3 weeks. This book have 4 chapters. I'm sure one of the weeks will double up on a chapter. Also, I believe maybe on Sundays, I'll be answering some questions when it comes to spiritual things, religion things, just to tell you guys about common things in life that's beside from the book, whatever the case is. A friend suggested that I turn my comment section off. I really didn't, but I guess he suggested for good reasons. And if you guys have any questions, you guys can DM me, okay? All right, let's rock and roll. Let's get the book of Jonah. Let's see what we can do, what we can learn from the first chapter, okay? First of all, the name of Jonah means dove. The bird dove, not dove, D-U-B, but D-O-V-E. Dove, all right? So what Jonah's been called to do, guys, Jonah's been called, he was a great prophet. He had to be a great speaker, a great leader. So he's been called by God to go to Nineveh. Nineveh is Jonah's enemies to his people. Jonah don't rock with these people. Jonah don't want to go to these people. Jonah hate these people. These people cause it a lot of oppression, a lot of brutality towards his people. So Jonah is like, no, okay? Now, a lot of people who knows the book of Jonah, of course, Jonah is going to be swallowed by a large creature, do not believe in the book of Jonah. So a lot of people believe in a lot of things in the Bible, but there's some small things that you're just not going to believe. But let me tell you guys something. If you believe in Jesus, you have to believe in the entire Bible, period. For example, Jesus mentions Jonah in Matthew 12, verse 38. So if Jesus mentioned Jonah, how can you not believe in the book of Jonah? So that means you don't believe in Jesus then. To not believe in the book of Jonah, you can't believe in Jesus. All right? Something also interesting. Every other prophet in the Bible was actually gone and went to go ahead and prophesy for Jonah. Yeah, so all the other prophets actually goes against the Gentile nations. They always prophesy something negative, and they always go over there to actually let them know these are the bad things that's going to happen to you. Jonah's the only one that we see so far that is actually going to actually go speak up for these people and go help these people out in his prophecy to lead them to Christ. Jonah's the only one. Okay, now Nineveh was the capital, okay, of the Assyrian Empire. The Assyrian Empire at that time was running things, folks. They was big, they was huge, but this city was so full of idolatry. It was full of cruelty, brutality. It was a sinful city. They worshiped many other gods. They had no love for God at all. They did their own thing. They were just ferocious, and they treated people very, very bad. Now, I'm going to ask you guys one question. Why would God care to go save these people who act like this? Maybe because God created every one of us. It doesn't matter bad or good, and that he loves his people. Remember, guys, we see each other as adults, okay? At a certain time or age in our life. God see you as a baby, as a child. You don't know no better. So majority of us want to throw a bunch of bad kids in the classroom away. So God is not going to do the same thing. God is going to give everybody, every soul, an opportunity to come to him, to get to know him and establish a relationship. So that's what we see here. Now at that time, folks, Nineveh was the capital of Assyria. Okay, and Nineveh was a beautiful, beautiful city, guys. Actually, one of the greatest things about Nineveh was its walls. So back then, guys, your walls represented your city, how precious it was, how fresh and fly it was. Well, Nineveh walls were about 40 to 50 feet high. And it went around about 2 to 3 miles. Your walls actually represented your city. That's why when you guys get in the book of Nehemiah, you see his desire to go build the wall for his Jewish people. But that's a different book, whatever the case is. Now, also, when you see it, when you look at even about the Syrian kings who lived in Nineveh, the city was so beautiful with the walls. Each around the city of the walls had 15 beautiful gates. And in front of those gates was statues of bulls. That's what they created. That's what he wanted. You have a king at that time. In Jonah's time was King Sennacherib. I hope I said it right? It's King Sennacherib. Now, King Sennacherib is different. Guys, sometimes you see these people, they're very cruel, they're very, mean and this, but these people are very smart. They're intelligent. Even though that they use their ways not in God's spotlight, they know what they're doing. He actually at that time was creating parks. He was creating different type of gardens that the world never seen yet. And more importantly, I didn't even know this guy had zoos. He created zoos for this city, okay, at that time. And like I said again, at that time, Nineveh was probably the largest city in the world. Now, like I said again, this is Jonah supposed to go there. Jonah's not having it. He's not going there. He hates these people so bad that instead of going east, like let's say the city was, Nineveh was in New York, Jonah's taking actually a ship to Tarshish, which is like in LA. He's going the opposite direction. He ain't about that life. Now, something's very interesting. Jonah's very smart. He's a prophet. He knows about God. Why do he think he can escape God? That's how bad Jonah didn't want to save these people or even lecture to these people or preach to these people. But we guys got to understand, say it with me, God is omnipresence. God is omnipresence, meaning God can be in Florida, New York, California, Michigan, all at the same time. He's everywhere. You can't escape from God, okay? So at this time, Jonah wants to go far west and he wants to do what he wants to do, okay? Now you'll see in verse 4, you'll see once Jonah gets on a ship and they start sailing, automatically a huge wind, huge storm happens, going crazy. Now, guys, there are a lot of mariners or sailors on this boat. They actually do this for a living. They're used to this. But this type of storm and wind is very unusual. They know something is behind this wind. So they started actually praying to their gods. At that time in the world, maybe it was probably 40 to 60 different gods out there that each nation, represented or believed in. So they start praying, but it's not working to these other gods. They're like, what's going on? All at this time, guys, Jonah is on the bottom of the boat, sleep. Now, I think it was a spiritual thing because God wanted him to fall a deep sleep and thinking he got away with it. But we know you don't get away nothing with God. So as this whole thing going on and these sailors actually praying and trying to get, hold of this thing and trying to see what's the cause of it, they go shake up Jonah. And they waking up Jonah. And Jonah finally wakes up. They saying, we don't know what's the cause of this, so they're finna cast lots. Back then, guys, they casted lots. Lots was like a name in a bag, all right? If they pull your name, you was it. Guess what the lot fell on? It fell on Jonah. At this time, Jonah's like, yeah, it's me. I know God is trying to punish me because I'm on this boat and you guys are probably going to die. And God is not only the God of water, land, and sky. God is total control of everything on this earth. And these people are like, what? Are you serious? Who's this God? Who's this Jehovah God? And Jonah at the same time don't even know he's preaching to these people. And these people are like, wow, yeah, are you serious? Are you for real? And Jonah's going on and on about how great God is and telling them, guys, throw me over. This whole thing will be over. Throw me over and you'll see this thing calm. But these people are like, wait. We're not throwing you over. Jonah hated so bad the Ninevites, so bad to go preach to them, he's willing to die and go to hell for the rest of his life. That's how bad Jonah hated them. Okay, so these people are like, no, Jonah, we're not throwing you overboard. Actually, now we liking this God and we believe in your God. And they start praying to God. I can't tell you how many people got saved at that time. Jonah's trying to run away from doing his work, but he's actually doing his work on the ship. Guys, anytime you try to do something away from God, God's mission is going to be completed. You don't have to do it. Some way, accidentally, God's mission will be completed. So now they're like, no, we're not throwing you overboard. So they start praying to Jonah's God, the Jehovah Jireh, the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. They start praying to the God. God, please save us. We don't want to kill Jonah. We don't want to throw him overboard. Please just stop this wind and this storm, whatever the case is. So once you get on verse 15, you see they can't do it now. They're losing their stuff. They're losing cargo. They're losing items. They're losing gifts. The boat is about to break. They're about to die. So guess what? They throw Jonah overboard. Immediately, boom, the storm stops. The wind stops. These guys are so amazed that Jonah was telling the truth about our God, Jehovah. I thought about something very special here. These people lost a lot of cargo. very expensive items, gifts, presents, probably to their families, wherever they're going out, to make money, to sell to other countries. They lost their material things, but earned their soul for eternity. They lost their material things, but they was able to save their soul through eternity. Now, these days, is that going on? Are you seeing people losing their material things to save their souls? Or are you seeing people grab their material things to lose their souls? But hey, that's for you to wonder out, okay? So anyway, you see in verse 17, Jonah is swallowed by a huge creature, huge whale, huge fish, whatever it was. Now, here's something very interesting that I never found out also, as I read this story many times. In verse 17, you'll see that God prepared this large fish or whatever to swallow Jonah. So prepared, God prepared. So what God did already understood and knew what Jonah would do and had this certain creature ready to swallow Jonah. Now, I said, what? Prepared? I asked myself, how many times have God saved your life from something very serious that you could have died, you could have been injured seriously, as a wake-up call to say, hey, here's your opportunity to repent. Guys, Jonah could have lost his life as he went overboard and been dead. God gave him another opportunity by this fish or this large creature swallowing Jonah in the sea and saving his life, because later you're going to see what Jonah did with the opportunity that he got. Guys, it's been great talking to you guys. That's the end of chapter 1. If you guys want to read Jonah chapter 2, go ahead. Next week, I'll go ahead and break it down again. You guys have a blessed night. Peace.